Karma always knocks. You thought I would never find out. But karma always does. It was a Tuesday night. Nothing good ever happens on a Tuesday. I was lying on the bed half asleep when I heard the shower turn on. Strange. That was her yours. Second shower of the day. My wife Anna was never like that. She was the one quick shower in the morning done type. While the water was running, I noticed her bag on the floor near the dresser. It was open, things spilling out, receipts, lip gloss, coins. I bent down to pick them up. I don't usually look through her things, but the mess annoyed me. So I started putting everything back. That's when I felt something cold and heavy. A small silver bottle, sleek, expensive looking, with Japanese letters on the side. Not normal drugstore stuff. I frowned and used my phone to translate the text. The screen lit up. Premium men's lubricant. Long-lasting formula. Men's, not women's. Not couples. Men's. And it was already half empty. My heart dropped. Anna and I never used things like that. Definitely not imported silver tubes. My hands shook. I put the bottle down and glanced at her tablet on the desk. The screen was still on. She had neat folders named Work, Recipes, Groceries. Groceries? Anna hated online groceries. She always dragged me to 3 different stores just to get her favorite brand of sauce. Curious, I tapped it. Only one app sat inside. A chat app I didn't recognize. I opened it. At the top was a chat with Mark. His message read, Thursday, usual hotel. Don't forget the silver one. Can't wait. I scrolled up. More texts, more hotel rooms, pictures I didn't want to see. Dates matched perfectly with every late night at work, every girl's dinner, every too tired, honey. The shower stopped. Anna was humming, happy, as if she hadn't just destroyed our marriage. I looked at the silver tube in my hand. My shaking stopped. My thoughts became sharp, cold. I had a plan. Anna came out in a towel, steam behind her like a small cloud. Hey, she said with a soft smile. You okay? You look pale. Headache, I said. Long day. I set her bag on the chair, zipped it closed like nothing happened. I'll sleep early. Oh no, poor you. She kissed my cheek. It felt strange, like a stranger's hand on my face. There's tea in the kitchen, chamomile. I nodded, got up, and left the room. In the hallway mirror, I saw my face. Calm, almost empty. I made tea, but I didn't drink it. Instead, I took a slow walk around our apartment, like I was learning a map I already knew. Kitchen, living room, balcony, bedroom. I stopped at the small cabinet where we kept documents and spare keys. I opened it and took out a thin folder. Mortgage, insurance, car title. Papers we never read but always needed. Then I took a pen and a notepad and wrote 3 lines. 1. Lawyer. 2. Bank. 3. Truth. Simple, clean, like a recipe. I put the paper in my pocket and returned to the bedroom. Anna was already in bed, scrolling her phone, her face lit with cold blue light. I love you, she said without looking up. Love you, I said back. The words felt like a stone inside my mouth. I lay next to her and turned off my lamp. I stared into the dark. The sound of her breathing evened out. I waited a long time, then longer. Finally, I slept, but it was thin sleep, like ice holding a heavy weight. Morning came gray and slow. Anna hummed as she got dressed. I'll be late tonight, she said. Team meeting, new project. Don't wait up. Okay, I said. Be safe. She kissed me quickly and left. The door clicked. Silence filled the apartment like a thick fog. I stood for a minute. Then I moved. Lawyer. I called the number of a friend, someone I hoped I would never need. She answered on the second ring. Her voice was warm but straight to the point. I told her I needed advice. I didn't give details. She said, come by at noon. Bank. I checked our accounts. We had a joint one for bills. I had a small personal one I used for hobbies. Anna had her own too. I did not touch her money. I did not move anything. I only downloaded statements and saved copies to a new folder on my laptop. Tuesday. Truth. I went to the apartment's security office in our building and asked for a copy of end-of-hall camera recordings for the last 2 weeks. I said there was a package missing, and I wanted to check if it was delivered. The guard knew me. We always talked about football. He shrugged and said, "No problem, man, I'll email you the clips." Back at home, I opened a new document and wrote everything I remembered. The silver bottle, the chat app, the message, the dates, the second shower. I took a deep breath and added how I felt. Shock, anger, sadness, empty. I wanted to see the words. I wanted to remember later that I was not crazy. At noon, I met the lawyer. Her office was bright with a big plan in the corner. "Tell me what happened," she said. I told her, but I left out the pictures. I watched her face, calm, professional. "You need a plan," she said. "Do not start a fight. Do not destroy anything. Do not touch her accounts. Collect information quietly. When you're ready, we act." "What about revenge?" I asked. My voice sounded small. She shook her head. "Justice is better, also safer." I nodded, but in my chest, anger was still hot like a coal. On the way home, I stopped at a coffee shop I never visited before. I sat at the window and watched people walk by. Everyone looked busy, normal, happy or tired. I felt like I was behind glass. My life was on the other side of it. A message buzzed on my phone. It was Anna. Anna. "Don't forget to eat. There's soup in the fridge. See you late." I stared at the heart emoji. It felt like a cheap sticker on a cracked wall. Thursday came fast, as it always does when you're waiting for something you don't want. Anna wore her meeting suit, dark jacket, hair tied back. She looked sharp and kind. She hugged me in the hallway. "Wish me luck," she said. "Good luck," I said. I watched the elevator doors close. I waited 5 minutes. Then I changed into jeans and a hoodie and went down the stairs. I crossed the street and sat in my car, which was parked 1 block away. I didn't turn it on. I just watched the building. At 7:18 p.m., Anna came out, not heading to the subway or to her office. She walked the other way, toward the river and the hotels. I followed at a distance in the car. Careful, slow. She turned into the entrance of the Riverview Hotel. It wasn't fancy, but it was private. I parked around the corner and walked inside. The lobby smelled like citrus and too much air freshener. Music played quietly, the kind that disappears as soon as you stop listening. I sat on a couch with a magazine open and waited. At 7:26, a tall man with a gym guy walk entered. He wore a clean white t-shirt and a jacket he didn't need. He looked around, then took his phone out and texted. 2 minutes later, Anna stepped out of the elevator and waved. He smiled big. They hugged. Her face, the way it turned up toward him, told me enough. They got in the elevator together. I did not follow. I sat for a full minute, counting in my head. Then I stood, walked to the front desk, and said, "Hi, I think I dropped my wallet here yesterday. Could you check lost and found?" While the receptionist went to the back, I leaned a little to the side and glanced at the screen that showed the elevator floors. The light stopped at 4. I breathed out. When the receptionist came back, I thanked her, said it must be at home, and left. Outside, I leaned against the wall and looked up at the 4th floor windows. I told myself I was strong. I told myself I would not go up. I stood there for a while anyway, feeling the wind and the city lights buzz in my bones. Finally, I walked away, turned the corner, got back into my car and drove home, hands tight on the wheel. I did not sleep that night. I did not cry either. I just stared at the ceiling and felt the space beside me, big and cold. At 2:11 a.m., the door opened softly. Anna came in on quiet feet, like she was sneaking past a sleeping dog. I kept my eyes closed and breathed slow. She paused, listened, then slipped into bed. "Hey," she whispered. "Hmm?" I said, half a fake, half true. "Love you," she said. "Love you," I answered. The words tasted like metal. Morning was polite. We ate toast. We discussed weather. She said she had a busy day. I said I did too. At 10, the building guard emailed me the hallway clips. I watched them on my laptop. They showed Anna leaving on the exact night she said she had urgent emails. They showed her returning around 2 or 3, quiet as a ghost. I saved the files in the Tuesday folder. I added the hotel name. I didn't know what would come next. I only knew I wasn't going to live like this. That evening, I wrote Anna a message. Can we have dinner at home tomorrow? I want to talk. She answered with a heart and a thumbs up. I cooked, not spicy revenge food. Just our normal favorite, pasta with mushrooms, a little butter, parmesan, parsley. The house smelled warm and familiar. It made me angry and sad at the same time. Anna came home right on time, smiling. Wow, this looks amazing, she said. What's the occasion? Us, I said. Sit, eat. We ate. We talked about small things. We laughed once. After we put the plates in the sink, I wiped my hands on a towel and said, I need to ask you something. Her smile faded. Okay. Are you seeing someone else? Silence. It filled the kitchen in a second, thick and heavy. Her mouth opened, closed. Why would you ask that? Because of this, I said, and placed my phone on the table. On the screen was the chat app, open to Mark. I didn't show the worst parts. Just one line. Thursday, usual hotel. Anna stared. Her eyes moved in tiny circles, searching for an exit that didn't exist. It's not, she started. Then she stopped. She pressed her lips together, like she was holding back words. You can tell me the truth, I said. My voice was steady, almost gentle. It surprised me. She sank into the chair. Her shoulders rounded like a defeated boxer. It is, I don't know how to say it. Say it plain, I said. I met him at a workshop, she said. We started talking. I felt alive. I know it sounds stupid, but I felt seen. With you, it's always lists and plans and we'll fix it later. With him, I felt now. I nodded slowly. How long? 3 months, she said. No, 4. I breathed out. It wasn't a shout. It wasn't a sob. Just a long breath that left my body. Why didn't you tell me you were unhappy? I was afraid, she said. A small laugh escaped her, angry at herself. Afraid of you being calm about it. You're always calm. I wanted fire and got ice. I looked at the sink, the dishes, the old tiny chip on the edge of the counter where I had dropped a mug last winter. Familiar things. Safe things. Are you done with him? I asked. She didn't answer. That was my answer. I stood. I'm not staying married like this, I said. I'm getting a lawyer. We can do it quietly or not. That's up to you. Tears filled her eyes. Can we try? No, I said. Not after lies this big. Not after sneaking around our home like a thief. She covered her face with her hands. Her shoulders shook. I wanted to feel something warm. I didn't. I only felt the end of something, like a door closing. I slept on the couch that night. The next days were a blur of calls and forms. The lawyer moved quickly. She asked for the folder. I gave her. Tuesday. She asked for a list of what we owned. I made one. She asked what I wanted. I told her, a clean break, the apartment if possible, no drama. Anna moved to the guest room. We walked around each other like careful strangers in a museum. We had polite talks about breakfast, mail, laundry. Sometimes I caught her looking at me like she was trying to remember how we used to be. I didn't look back. Mark, of course, did not disappear. I saw his name light up her phone at night. She tried to hide it. She stopped trying. Once I passed the living room and heard her whisper, soon, soon, I promise. I kept walking. A week later, my sister Mia came over. She hugged me hard. She always smelled like vanilla and coffee. You okay? She asked. No, I said, but I will be. We sat on the balcony with tea. I told her the short version. She listened, jaw tight. What do you need? She asked. Help packing, I said. Some of my stuff. And company. You got it. We went back inside. Anna was in the kitchen. She looked at Mia, then at me, like she wanted to say something and change her mind. That evening, Mia and I put my books, winter coats, and tools into boxes. We wrote labels with a black marker. We put the boxes by the door. At 11, my phone buzzed. A number I didn't know. Unknown. Stop filming us, creep. Me. Who is this? Unknown. You know? I stared at the message. Then I laughed without humor. I wrote back. Me. Tell Mark I haven't filmed anything. I don't need to. But thanks for confirming who you are. No answer. I showed Mia the text. She rolled her eyes. Coward, she said. We didn't know it yet, but the filming porno part would matter later. On Friday, I left work early and met the lawyer again. She handed me papers. Here's the first agreement, she said. It offers fair split. You keep the apartment. She keeps her car and her savings. No alimony either way. It's reasonable. If she refuses, we file and let a judge decide. Will it get ugly? I asked. Divorce is always a little ugly, she said, but we can keep it small if both sides are adults. I nodded. I wasn't sure we had two adults left in this story. That night, Anna and I sat at the dining table. The papers lay between us. She read slowly. Her hands shook a little. It's fair, I said. I'm not trying to punish you. She looked up, eyes red. But you could, she said softly. You have proof. You could ruin me. I don't want to ruin you, I said. I just want to stop living in a lie. She signed. It should have felt like relief. It felt like stepping off a boat onto land that didn't move, but also didn't welcome me. We agreed that she would move out in 2 weeks. She would stay with a friend until she found a place. We would tell our families after the weekend. We would be kind. We would be calm. We would act like adults. For 2 days, it almost worked. On Sunday afternoon, I was fixing a loose cabinet hinge when a knock sounded at the door. I wiped my hands with a towel and opened it. A tall man stood there. Mark. He was better looking up close. Clean jawline, bright eyes, easy grin. He held out a hand like we were about to do business. Hey, he said, can we talk man to man? I looked at his hand. I didn't take it. About what? About not making this messy, he said, lowering his voice. Anna told me you're emotional. I get it. But you don't want to do something you'll regret. I almost laughed. You came to my home to tell me not to make a mess? He leaned closer. Look, I don't want trouble. I care about her. If you try to hurt her job or reputation, I'll have to respond. Respond how? I asked. He smiled, small and hard. I have friends. People listen to me. I can make you look bad online in one day. Lies work fast. Behind him, Anna appeared in the hallway, eyes wide. Mark, what are you doing? Protecting you, he said, still looking at me, as a man should. I felt heat rise from my chest to my face. It wasn't rage, it was something cleaner. A line inside me drew itself dark and thick. I'll give you one piece of advice, I said quietly. Leave now. He smirked. Make me. I didn't move. I didn't raise my voice. I just stared at him the way you stare at a dog that is thinking about biting you. Something in my eyes must have reached him. He stepped back. Fine, he said, but this isn't over. You're right, I said. It's not. Then I closed the door. Anna burst out. I'm sorry, I didn't know he would come. I told him not to. He thinks he's helping. What he's doing is stupid, and I said, and dangerous. She put her hands to her temples. I'm trying to keep peace. You chose war when you chose lies, I said. Now we finish quickly and quietly, or we don't. Your choice still. She nodded, small and scared. 2 days later, Karma knocked. It started with a video. Mia sent me a link at 8 a.m. with one word. Wow. I tapped it. The video was grainy, filmed from a phone in a hotel hallway. It showed a man and a woman arguing outside a room. The man was Mark. The woman was not Anna, at least not clearly. The angle hit her face. Voices echoed, then a loud thud. A hotel staff member stepped in, hands up, trying to calm them. The camera shook. Someone whispered, Oh my God. The caption read, "Fitness coach screams at woman in hotel. Staff calls security." It had 20,000 views already. Comments bloomed like weeds. People argued, who are they? What happened? Who's wrong? Who's innocent? Most didn't care about truth. They cared about noise. I didn't share it. I didn't like it. I didn't comment. I put my phone face down. At noon, my lawyer called. "Don't panic," she said, "but if anyone contacts you, say nothing. You are not in that video. You are not a subject." "I'm not panicking," I said. "I'm tired." By evening, the video had 100,000 views. Mark posted a statement online. "This is taken out of context. I was trying to help someone in a bad situation. Please respect privacy." It did not help. 2 days later, another video appeared, this time from across the street of our building. It showed Mark leaving late at night, looking angry, gesturing at his phone. The caption called him a serial cheater. Some of the information was wrong, but the internet didn't care. It was eating popcorn and enjoying the show. Anna came home pale. "I'm sorry," she said. "I think this is my fault." "No," I said. "It's his choices. And maybe a little karma." She half smiled, then sat at the table and covered her face. "I made a mess." "Yes," I said. "But now we clean it." We kept moving. Boxes, forms, small talks. Nights quiet as empty classrooms. On the last night before she moved out, Anna knocked on the frame of the living room door. I was sitting on the couch reading the same paragraph for the third time. "Can I sit?" she asked. "Sure." She sat at the other end, hands folded. "I know sorry doesn't fix anything," she said, "but I am sorry. Not just for the cheating, for all the little lies around it, for turning our home into a secret stage." I closed the book. "I'm sorry too," I said, "for not noticing sooner, for thinking calm can fix everything. Maybe I should have spoken louder when things felt off." She nodded. "Maybe we both should have." We sat in silence for a long minute. Finally, she stood. "Goodbye," she said. "Goodbye, Anna." She walked to the door, picked up the last box, and left. When the door clicked, the apartment felt too big. I went to the window and watched the street. A woman walked her dog. A bike passed. Somewhere, someone laughed. Life was still happening. I slept in our bed alone for the first time in weeks. The sheets were cool. I dreamed of water, a river moving forward without me. The first week after she moved was quiet and strange. I made coffee for one and cooked single eggs and kept forgetting to buy small milk cartons instead of big ones. The apartment sounded different, lighter, but also echoing. On Wednesday, someone knocked. I opened the door to see a tall woman in a navy blazer. She held a small envelope. "Are you Daniel Reed?" she asked. "Yes." She handed me the envelope. "You've been served," she said, then left. I tore the envelope open. Inside was a short letter, official and sharp. "Cease and desist." It claimed I had been recording private meetings and distributing defamatory materials about Mr. Mark Hale. It threatened legal action. I laughed once, small and tired. Then I forwarded the letter to my lawyer with a 2-word note. "More noise." 5 minutes later, she called. "Ignore it," she said. "It's hot air. They have no evidence. If they push, we respond properly." "Will they push?" "Probably," she said. "People like this often do. Then they get bored. Or karma gets busy," I said. She chuckled. "That too." 2 days later, karma sent a calendar invite. A news story came out about a small fitness studio being fined for misuse of client data. The owner's name was Mark Hale. He had used client photos in ads without permission. Members complained. The city investigated. The fine wasn't huge, but the story spread fast. Clients canceled. Sponsors paused deals. It wasn't a fall from a mountain. It was a slide down a wet hill, fast and messy. I didn't cheer. I didn't need to. The universe didn't ask for my applause. 1 month later, the divorce was final. No court fight, no extra drama. I kept the apartment. She kept her savings and her car. We both kept our dignity, or what was left of it. We signed papers in a quiet office. The clerk stamped them with a heavy thud. That was it. We hugged in the hallway. It was not romantic or bitter. It was two people saying goodbye to 10 years. Take care, she said. You too, I said. Choose honesty next time, with him or anyone. She nodded. I will. Then after a pause, I hope you find someone who likes your lists in your calm. Hasananam, maybe I'll learn to like fire sometimes, I said. We smiled, small and real, and walked our separate ways. After the divorce, life became simple in a way I didn't expect. I changed small things. I moved the couch to the other wall. I painted the bedroom a soft gray that looked good in morning light. I bought a plant that did not die in the first week. I tried new recipes and burned 2 of them. I oversalted a soup and ate it anyway, laughing alone at the table. Sundays became slow and nice. I cleaned early, then read or took long walks. I talked to Mia more. I met a neighbor I had seen for years but never known. His name was Ben. He collected old records. We traded music. He told me stories about songs like he was giving me recipes for moods. One Saturday, while I was in the hardware store choosing picture hooks like they were diamonds, someone touched my elbow lightly. I turned. A woman stood there, a little shorter than me, wearing a denim jacket and a curious smile. Excuse me, she said. Do you know if these nails are strong enough for a small shelf? I looked at the box in her hand. Depends on the wall, I said. If it's drywall, maybe anchors would be better. She made a face. I was afraid you'd say that. We laughed. We compared anchors. We picked a set like we were choosing a movie to watch. At the checkout, we realized we lived 3 blocks apart. Her name was Riki. Ra. She was a nurse. She liked early mornings, quiet streets, and tea with too much honey. We walked out together and stopped on the sidewalk. Thank you for the anchor advice, she said. Anytime, I said. I'm a professional at making holes in walls and then fixing them. She smiled. I'm a professional at fixing people who make holes in themselves. We exchanged numbers. We didn't rush. We didn't try to make magic out of nothing. We texted about small things, a new coffee shop, a funny dog we both saw, a book she was reading. After a week, we went for a walk by the river. The water moved like time, steady, indifferent, forgiving. She asked about my life. I told her the simple version. She didn't ask for the complicated one. She told me about her patients, how brave they were, how tired she was sometimes. We sat on a bench and watched a boat pass. Do you believe in karma? She asked, half joking. I do now, I said, but not as punishment. More like balance, like the river leveling the stones. She nodded. I like that. We kept walking. The city lights turned on one by one. The air cooled. My chest felt light for the first time in months. Weeks turned into months. I learned to be alone without being lonely. I learned to cook enough for one without wasting half of it. I learned that silence can be friendly if you treat it with respect. Sometimes the past knocked on the door of my mind. I let it in, gave it a glass of water, and sent it on its way. I didn't replay the worst parts. I didn't imagine revenge I didn't take. I let karma do its quiet work in the background. I heard pieces of Anna's new life through friends. She moved to a small apartment near the park. She changed jobs. She adopted a cat with serious whiskers. She and Mark did not last. Maybe because of the videos, maybe because of money, maybe because lies do not make good bricks for a house. One Sunday I was at the farmer's market, choosing tomatoes by smell, when I saw Anna across the way. She saw me too. We walked toward each other like normal people. Hi, she said, smiling a little. She held a bag of peaches. These are great today. I'll try them, I said. We stood in the middle of the road while people moved around us with flowers and bread. You look good, she said. Thanks, you too. There was a pause. She lifted the bag. Do you want one? A peach? I laughed. Sure. She handed me one and we said goodbye. I bit into the peach. It was sweet and messy. Juice ran down my hand. I wiped it with a napkin and kept walking. The sun felt warm on my face. One evening, Leah came over with a puzzle and tea. We sat on the floor, pieces spread like confetti. The window was open and the city hummed. How did you learn to be so calm? She asked, fitting 2 blue pieces together. I didn't, I said. I learned to pause. It's not the same. She looked up. Explain? I thought for a second. Calm can be fake. A mask, a frozen lake. Pause is different. It's a breath before the next step. It's the choice to act on the right thing, not on the loud thing. She nodded. I like that. A pause. In my work, we call it a hold. We hold before we push medicine. We check again. We make sure the line is clear. Exactly, I said. A hold. I placed a piece with a small yellow corner into the sky of the puzzle and smiled. Found the sun. She leaned her head on my shoulder. You did. The room felt gentle and true. Not perfect. Nothing is, but honest. And that was enough. Months later, on another Tuesday, because of course it was a Tuesday, I walked home after work with a small bouquet of wildflowers I'd bought from a kid on the corner. The sky was soft and blue. The kind of blue that makes you think of clean sheets and fresh notebooks. As I turned onto my street, a man stepped out of a car in front of my building. Mark. He looked thinner, older, like he hadn't slept enough for a long time. He saw me and gave a quick, uncertain wave. I could have walked past him. I could have ignored him. I didn't. Hey, I said, stopping a few feet away. Hey, he said back. He took a deep breath. I owe you an apology. I waited. I was arrogant, he said. I thought I could control the story. I don't know what I thought. He rubbed his eyes. I lost clients. I lost money. Some of it is my fault. Some of it is the internet. But I made choices that started it. So, I'm sorry for coming to your home, for threatening you, for being a jerk. I looked at him. I believed him. Or I believed that he believed himself right now. That was enough. Thank you, I said. I accept your apology. He nodded, surprised maybe that it was that simple. He looked at the flowers in my hand. Nice, he said. For someone? For me, I said. And for someone. He smiled a little. Take care, man. You too, I said. He got back into his car and drove away, slowly, like a person who had learned the cost of speed. I went upstairs. Leah was already there, setting 2 plates on the table. She looked at the flowers and laughed. Wild, she said. Like us, I said. We ate, we talked, we left some dishes for morning. Later we stood on the balcony, city lights blinking like calm stars. She leaned into me and I wrapped my arm around her. You okay? She asked. I am, I said. Finally I am. Below us the street carried people home. Above us the sky did its quiet work. Somewhere out there, karma turned another small wheel, steady and fair. Inside me something turned too. Not karma, not revenge, just a gentle click as the present snapped into place. I took a long breath, let it out, and smiled. The end.